Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode here on the J72 Gaming channel. My name is Jacob, but you can just call me Jay here. Today we continue our jam-packed 2 months full of content for you all with our Dinosaur Weeks event. Each week we will be focused on one dinosaur or reptile, with challenge videos, documentaries, and helpful videos like this one. This week we're focusing our attention on the lurking giant of the depths, Deinosuchus. In this video, we're going to go over everything you need to know to play a successful dino in Evrima, special abilities, good growing locations, and some tips and tricks I've learned along the way as well. If you guys enjoyed this episode and are hyped for the Dinosaur Week event, please remember to drop me a rating and subscribe to join the Sauropod squad. Each of you really help grow the herd and help fight against this YouTube algorithm. I recently just took a week off to recharge the old brain juices and help gather some inspiration for the rest of these Dino Weeks, so I'm happy to be back and cranking out more content for you guys. With that intro out of the way though, let's get into what you all came here to see: how to play Deinosuchus. So the Deinosuchus is a very unique addition to the playable roster we have in Evrima. Being the only aquatic animal currently in the game, the rivers and swamps of Isla Spyro are its own to control. Playing a dino is a very different experience than the rest of the other dinosaurs and reptiles we have to choose, due mainly in part to the aquatic nature of the animal, but also for how insanely patient you have to be to successfully grow one of these beasts to full adult. 5 hours of growing time is what awaits you while playing this reptile, and those 5 hours are not going to be easy. I genuinely believe getting a Deinosuchus to full adult in Evrima is the greatest challenge the game currently has. Those 5 hours will be a mixture of calm moments along Riverside, honestly, very immersive and relaxing, but will also be full of perils as larger dinosaurs attempt to eat you when you're on land, and larger and hungry cannibalistic dinos will attempt to eat you when you're in the water. But before I go over some strategies with how to help you survive to adulthood, let's take a look at some of the stats this creature has for us to work with. The Dino has an insane health pool of 8,000 once fully grown, and its bite force is one of the strongest hitting attacks the game has to offer at 500 newtons of force. Its speed is, well, lacking on land tremendously, as it's not very fast and its stamina will drain in 15 seconds when on land, so definitely not the greatest. However, the land is not where the Dino is meant to thrive, and its stamina lasts much longer in the water. In the water, this croc has a few abilities for you all to have fun with. Holding shift will allow you to sprint like normal, but a fun trick to keep up decent speed while retaining your stamina bar is to hippo walk on the bottom. This is fairly easy to do, but it's a good little trick to keep up your stamina in case other cannibalistic crocs roll up and want to fight. Right-clicking in the water will boost you forward at the cost of some stamina, which is definitely the fastest way to get around in the water. The main trick up this reptile's sleeve, however, is the lunge ability. The main way to set up this attack as an ambush is to rest the croc on the edge of the river and then hold the right click. If the croc is resting on the ground, it will lunge rather than doing the water boost swim thing. The right click will lunge you out of the water, and this ability has a few nuances to it actually. Holding down the right mouse button will make you lunge as far as possible and will let you grab onto smaller dinosaurs and hold them in your mouth as long as you can keep your right mouse button held down. This grab will drain both yours and the prey's stamina. If your stamina drops to 0, you'll let go of the creatures. So it's important and recommended to pull the prey down into the depths of the water before it has a chance to run away. Another neat trick with the lunge mechanic when you're out of the water and caught in a fight is to immediately attack after your lunge connects. This will actually do 2 hits of damage very quick, and the damage can add up to be quite a lot, so this is a fun and helpful combat trick for you guys to try. You should also try to practice your alt attacks. By holding alt and left clicking, your Dino will attack in the direction you're looking. This attack is a crucial tool for fighting Utos and Carnos, so make sure you know how to use it well. Attack quickly after an alt attack works similarly to attacking after a lunge as well. Now the Dino also has an ability called its water sense. Holding down the Q button, which is the smell button, underwater will allow you to see movement under the water. This is mainly useful for hiding from larger crocs and being able to see where they are before they see you, but the trick I like to use with it is to confuse Pteranodon players. Now you see, the back and forth gameplay between the Pteranodons and the Deinosuchuses is a pretty fun one. Terras want fish, and Dinos want to catch those Terras, so you will often see Dinos hanging out around one of the fish spawn circles that the Pteranodons need to fish from. However, if you use this Q for your water sense, you will actually make a circle on the surface of the water that looks very similar to the fish circles that the Pteranodons need, allowing you to trick and bait in a Pteranodon player. It's kind of hard to pull off, and most players know this trick at this point, but it's still a little fun thing to mess around with during your 5 hours of growth. Okay, so let's get into some tips and tricks for surviving the rivers of Isla Spyro. I've made a video specifically on where to go with the Dino, so I suggest you guys check out that video as I go into more depth on locations for you to survive. But here I'd like to talk about how you will be physically surviving and spending your time. The way I try to succeed as a Dino is to understand that everything is a potential predator, since many of your deaths as a Dino will be to other Dinos. And personally, I like to find a bush, log, fern, or something to hide in along the river's banks. It's important not to be in the water, as the adult crocs can sense your movement and thus giving up your position, but it's also important to be close enough to the water so that you can run into it away from any terrestrial predator, as a small growing croc is a very easy meal to snap up. Using this method of staying vigilantly out of the water when you're able to, just in case a large croc swims by, but staying aware of any terrestrial nearby in case they run by, will tremendously increase your chance of survival in Isla Spyro. I'd like to take a quick moment to mention again how patience is a huge part of the Dino playstyle. It's not for everybody, and honestly it's not my favorite playstyle of the game that we have available. I much prefer the freedom and exploration the Carno and Pteranodon offers, but there is something special and unique about spending hours at a time relaxing near the river's edge as a croc. Some of the rivers have down logs and ferns for you to find a place to call your own, and even though you'll be on the edge at all times, worried about losing a croc's life in an untimely death, cranking up the volume in your headset to be immersed with the ambient sounds of the rivers, swamps, and jungles of Evrima have honestly been some of the most immersive experiences I've had in the Isle. I genuinely recommend challenging yourself to get at least one Dino to full adult. It won't be easy, but the power you feel when controlling a full adult Dino after 5 hours of patience is very rewarding, and can be some of the most fun you'll have in Evrima. Just make sure you don't mess it up when fighting a Stego or two. Alright all, that's it for the how to play Deinosuchus video here to kick off Deinosuchus week. Coming up, we'll have a fun challenge video and a documentary of these crocs coming this weekend. Not to mention a realistic and relaxing video this Sunday where I hope you're all able to turn it on and add some swampy croc vibes to your weekend. I want to thank you all for checking out this video. If you found any tips or tricks you learned or liked, please consider liking the video and subscribing to join the Sauropod squad. But that's it for me, dudes. I'll catch you all later this week as we continue to celebrate the DINO WEEKS event with even more Deinosuchus. Cheers all.